All right, it's 5:30. We're ready to go. Are we good? All right. All right. Welcome everyone to the Architecture Review Board meeting. We finished our work session from 5 to 5:30. The official meeting is now underway. Introduce Yolanda Wilkins and Jim Bailey with the city. We also have council liaison Jamie Hassmeyer with us today. Carol Dunkey and Tracy Collins, Chuck Yannicki, David Yates, and myself, Bob Buckman, all volunteer architects that sit on the board. First item of business is reviewing meeting minutes from June 6th, which right away, I see there's one extra person on the list. I'm not sure the ARB members on the meeting minutes in June is correct. I know I was here.
I don't believe Angela was here.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Angela was not. That was the only one.
Yeah.
So just make that, I did notice that when I was reviewing them. With that, do I have any motion on the June 6th meeting minutes, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the June 6th meeting minutes with the correction that Angela Thompson was not in attendance at the meeting.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, the June 6th meeting minutes are approved as noted. Next, we do have one pre-approval from our work session. So with that, can I have a motion on 128 Jefferson Road?
Make a motion to approve 128 Jefferson Road as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, 128 Jefferson Road is approved. At this point, when we read your project off, we would ask if you're here present just to come up and introduce yourself at the microphone, and we'll discuss your project, ask you questions from that point on. And if you're online, to raise your Zoom hand and Yolanda will add you to the chat. First one on the list is 304 West Jackson Avenue. Anyone present for that project? Not seeing anyone online for 304 West Jackson. And if no one here, we'll come back to that one at the end. Next, we have 740 Fairview Avenue.
Hi, my name is Ben Ellerman from Blaze Architects. This is our client.
Charlie Wall, resident, and I think my wife might be on Zoom, but I'm here in person.
Great. Welcome, Charlie. Good to see you, Ben.
Thank you. So we've got a number of different projects with the Walls House. The first in the front, there's an existing front porch that at some point in the past, in the 30s, 40s, 50s, they tore out the porch floor and put in one of these small little odd stoops and left the porch columns in the roof. So I know we're kind of jumping around. That's on page A8. We're basically looking to restore the porch to what we think is similar to what it would have looked like originally. The three columns will remain. We're adding traditional porch railing in between the columns, kind of the wide grand stair, and then lattice panels underneath the porch for that portion. The other part of the project is it's a rear two-story addition. It's going to have a side entrance at mid-level off the driveway, which will get extended. Kitchen, family room, new powder room, and then the second floor will have the new walk-in closet, bedroom, large bath, and remodeled hall bath as well. We extended the roof line, the rear gable, which doesn't go across the entire back of the house. We extended that to the rear. The gable window will match the window that's in the current rear gable. And we have a triple window in the bedroom, kind of a French casement window over the kitchen sink, triple doors out to the porch in the rear. That porch slash deck doesn't extend the entire length of the house because we need room to actually maneuver around the corner of the house to get to the garage. So that's why we didn't extend that all the way over. And would welcome any questions or comments from the board.
Okay, thank you.
That's good.
I think there was one question or comment.
I just had a question about whether you would be open to perhaps adding a window into the kitchen on the east elevation. You know, because there is that kind of big area of siding. And maybe get yourselves a little more natural light into the kitchen from that direction.
Yeah, we actually have an option potentially to add windows, but we're concerned about losing wall space, but I can share that with the board. We'd also be curious if the board would be open to an option maybe with the closed shutters where it looks like a window.
Mhm.
And also just to point out, like, that's kind of a shared driveway immediately adjacent to the neighboring residence as well, so, I mean, it's. If there'd be much of a view or much, I mean, I guess there would be some natural.
It'd be more of losing the wall space for the cabinets more than anything else is the main driving factor for that.
Yeah, you know, and there is another fairly large section of blank wall on that floor that's existing.
Correct, yeah, that side of the house has a lot of wall, although we do have the door and the window at the stair and then a lot of windows at the second floor as well.
Yeah.
So probably our first preference would be maybe the closed shutter option, but if not, we're open to windows.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand what you're saying about your wall space and, you know, everybody wants kitchen cabinets. That's fine. And I'm fine with the closed shutter option. It's just kind of the view from the outside. It's a little blank, especially when there's already that existing blank area. So, yeah, that would be fine. And if everyone is amenable, maybe we could even put it in the motion to have the shutters. And then if you should choose to do the windows as submitted, you could, but that's strictly an option. That way, if you did decide to do it, you wouldn't have to come back.
Yeah, that'd be great if the board was willing to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody's fine with that, I think that would solve things.
Sounds
My
good to
wife
me.
might have her hand up.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and add her to chat. And then I guess it looks like someone's on mute though. There we go.
There we
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. We were just making sure, did you want to add a comment or?
No, I'm happy with everything.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Great. Thank you. I'm fine with that. If we want to do the motion that way myself. I don't know if anyone else works for me. All right, it's a nice looking project, so.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm. All right, well, with that, do I have a motion on 740 Fairview Avenue?
I'll make a motion to approve 740 Fairview Avenue with the understanding that on the east elevation at the kitchen, there will be closed shutters to mimic the appearance of a window or windows. And the owners have the option, if they choose, to add windows into that wall per the submittal we've received this evening.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right, you're approved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good evening. All right, next on our list, we have 121 Clara Avenue. Anyone present for that project? Or online to raise your hand?
Hi, all. I'm not sure if you can hear me. This is Lindsay Church Ellis. I am the homeowner at 304 West Jackson. I'm sorry, I was having audio issues when you called the project initially.
Oh, okay. Well,
Just
sure,
wanna-
we can, We can pivot back to yours. We're pretty easy here. All right, 304 West Jackson then. I think we had a question on the project.
I just had one question about the front elevation on the portico above the front door. There's some, it looks like there's maybe a solid panel in between the columns, and I was just curious what that material was and thinking that it might look a little heavy on the front, and was curious if you might be open to removing that and putting railing there or just keeping it open or. just
I am
wanted-
open to, sure. Yeah, I'm open to that. I also I had the same thought when I got the drawings back initially, and the architect sent over a prior project they had done where you could see the paneling like as applied. It's just wood to match the rest of the paneling, and it actually looked really nice. So I'd be happy to send over sort of a live view picture or and also look at the alternative of just having it be an open railing.
Okay, so it's just a flat panel.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think I was the only one that had that comment, so.
Right.
If everybody else is.
So there's a relief there, right? I would assume that two corners project past or out proud of the center panel. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah,
So at least it's not, this big solid.
right. It's
face
got
or
some relief.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, I think the way it's designed, I think most board members were okay with. If you did want to leave out the center though, and with an open railing, I think we could just put it as an option.
That sounds fine, because I did, when I initially looked at it, I thought, gosh, that's a little heavy. And then I thought, well, I was thinking about if there was some sort of relief and a good setback for that panel, it would be fine.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think it's a very nice porch. I think it looks great on the house. And I personally would be fine either way, either as is or with balusters in those areas.
All right, well, with that, Lindsay, we could make a motion on 304 West Jackson.
Make a motion to approve 304 West Jackson as submitted with an option to remove the panels on the portico between the column locations and leave that area open or provide a railing.
Second.
Second. Did I get one from?
Yeah, second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, you are approved for 304 West Jackson. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, now moving back or forward again. All right, where were we?
Para, I think.
Yes, 121 Clara. All right, so is Sydney with, hello?
Hi, my name's Sydney Logan. I am the architectural designer for the McDonald's on Clara. So just a gist of the project, they have an existing first-story addition that is currently a bedroom and a small living space. They would like to just make that an entire just open living space for their young family. And then we're going to do an addition on top of that, which will end up being their primary suite with their new primary bedroom, bathroom, and closet. They will be redoing all of the siding. So the existing siding will be replaced to match the second story addition. And then all of the existing first floor windows and doors will remain in the place that they are and the same sizes that they are. We'll just be adding a few windows on the second story addition.
Okay, thank you. I think there were a few questions from board members. Chuck?
Yeah, on the addition, I just want clarification as to why the roof slope on the new addition doesn't match the existing. Is there a reason why is there a technical
Yes.
problem or what's going on there?
So we had decided to lower that slope, so that the homeowners didn't have to re-roof the entire home. It would save them quite a bit of money in this case, so that they will be using the same shingle, but if we had that ridge line at the same height, we would still see the difference. It would be quite drastic, the difference between the new shingle and the old shingle. So that was the primary reason why.
I would think that the architecture is going to be around longer than the shingles.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a temporary condition where they don't exactly match, overall over time, when that roof does get replaced. The architecture would still be cohesive if it were still the same roof line. It's just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it, I think. Practical reasons.
It doesn't look like, I don't think you'd really get a view of it too. From the ground, like where your photos are taken, you can't even really see the roof. So if
Yeah,
they're
it was
concerned about
more
that.
of an all-encompassing budget, larger trusses to match that and,
Mhm.
more shingles and so on, so.
True, yep.
Yeah, it's 65 feet back from the street, so visible from Clara Avenue. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
that's
mean-
even.
I've run into the same condition in designs before. I mean, that's the reason why you do it,
Save costs, yeah.
simplify it. So, I think there were some questions about the windows. So you've got a variety of window styles on the house. So all the existing windows are staying, right?
That's correct, yes.
And then what you're putting in new is double hung without grills? Is that correct? Or some of them have grills, some of them don't. I think that was a question. It looks like on the rear, you're showing grills on the uppers, but not on the lowers. And on the sides, you're showing no grills.
That could just be a graphic error, but we could match what's existing.
So we're gonna do all, yeah, grills, that would make sense.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. That's simple.
And then maybe if you could consider, like, for example, on the west side elevation, first of all, not all the windows are shown on the brick, which is a little bit misleading. Not misleading, like negative, like it's hard to understand what's going on, but there's the pair of windows on the second floor that are out of scale with the other two, with the existing windows and also the windows on the first floor. Wonder if you could, maybe bring the scale down and or, align the heads so they line up across elevation. Just bring some cohesiveness to it.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
All right. Additional comments?
Yeah, it looks like we do have an awful lot of siding on the east side of the new addition on the second floor. Would you be open to making that bathroom window taller and maybe adding sort of a matching window into the closet, just to have something besides just that one tiny slot window in the new addition on that side?
Yeah, I can talk to the owners about that and see if they're open to doing that.
Yeah, I think that would help a lot because it, there's just like nothing up there basically except that one little slot that's not even aligned with the window below. And I understand that window below is existing, but yeah, if you could just make that, it doesn't have to be, a large, long window like the ones on the first floor, but just make that window taller and then maybe add a matching one in the closet, then I think that would help balance out that addition and get rid of that expansive siding. And then also too, if you could close off that area below the deck with some sort of decorative skirt material that's compatible with the house design.
Yes, we could do that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I think with the east side window, it looks like you would have a few different options and I agree with Carol, if the window was a little taller, it would help. So you could have a smaller square above the tub and then you could put one above the toilet or in the closet. You would have some options, I think, just something to help balance that facade out a bit. And then also bring, more light into different spots in that side of the house, so.
And the existing deck is going to just remain unchanged, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
We do not have plans to change that, besides the lattice, if that's a requirement.
Yeah, yeah. So any comments about the railing is not needed.
Okay.
All right. Anything else from the board? All right, it sounds like we're gonna add the grills or clarification that we are adding grills and then either changing the proportion of the window to a taller head and adding one on the west east side. Does that sound agreeable, Sydney?
Yeah, we can make that work.
All right. With that, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 121 Clare Avenue with the following clarifications. The bottom of the existing deck will be closed off with lattice work. All of the windows will match the existing window grille patterns. The window heads of the new windows will match the elevation of the window heads of the existing windows. The window in the bathroom will be revised to be a taller square shape or possibly two separate windows on that west elevation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. All right, Sydney, you're approved as noted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Next, we have 317 North Rock Hill Road.
Hello,
Hello.
I'm Chad Pogarellic, the resident there. we're
Chad.
Basically just replacing the existing deck with a new one. And then the part that's gonna be different is the pictures with the screened-in porch. We're gonna have it wrap around there. The one, I know you said the gap between the house.
Yeah.
And that's where our air conditioners are.
Oh,
Okay.
And I had my
wondering
wife
about
send
that.
some extra pictures on my phone in case you have any more questions. And then I think someone said the space under the deck too. We'll definitely do some kind of like lattice work on that. It's one side that's taller because it kind of slopes away.
Right.
And then as far, I think someone else mentioned the view of the neighbor. I had her send me a picture. The neighbor, it's a garage. There's really no neighbor there.
Yeah.
And I guess the changing view would be a railing. It's probably, I have pictures if you want to see. Our stairs to the basement are actually in that, where we're going to add that wraparound part. So I'd say it's like 20 feet from where that railing will be to like his fence line.
Yeah.
And the garage back there.
I just, if you have the existing lattice or the existing picket fence, or the existing, iron fence, when you build up against things like that.
Oh, on the looking at it
on the
on
left
this
side.
side.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I'm assuming we'll probably have to have the fence removed and put back in. But
Okay.
it's just gonna go back exactly.
That's
where
fine,
it
that's
is.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because building blind, you don't see things building blind against something and then, but you can see through it. So,
Yeah, we put a pool in, so we had to put the rail of the fence in.
right.
And we made the fence go with the existing setup, so we're stuck with this deck shape now, I think.
Got it.
Like it or not.
Except this one, I think will be cleaner and fresher looking
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually that privacy fence I had a question about, but it makes sense if you have the the AC units behind it.
Yeah, there's ACs back there. Yeah, and that's where it says privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't see the air conditioners.
Cool.
All right. Any other comments from the board? Sounds good. Well, with that, I guess just the infill, on the open end.
Just put
The
lattice work.
the lattice, we'll just
Okay,
add that to the motion if that sounds good.
good to me.
Motion from one of the board members, please.
I'll do this one. Make a motion to approve 317 North Rock Hill Road as submitted with the understanding that they will put a lattice or some sort of screen apron below the deck to close it off.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, Chuck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. You as well. Thanks. All right. And the last one tonight is 524 Bacon, new house.
So we're working with our client Walter Whitmer to build his forever home in Webster. It's a challenging lot. It has about 14 feet of drop from one
Oh,
corner
wow.
to the other. We're partially dug in on the west side. Large overhangs, everything's designed on a unit system, 4-foot unit system in plan and a 1-foot unit system in vertical. Based on some of the board's comments, the front, what we call the front porch, which extends out in front of the garage, will provide an area partially for parking, but also it could be like a multi-use space as well. And those trusses are open. We do have a few additional images we could share, but 2 steel beams will come in the side triangles. And then the timbers will have steel plates that connect everything together, basically. I don't know if the board needs additional images.
Yeah, that was what my comment I was curious about, because it looks like looks like there's a little tan piece of something in the rendering.
So yeah,
I don't know.
that's decorative. That's a decorative panel basically in the front. So that
Okay.
those triangles go all the way through, and those conceal the steel I-beams.
Oh, okay.
And then the trusses will bear on top of those.
That's
The
cool.
timber frame trusses will bear on those.
Okay.
So, and the little portions that stick down are decorative as well.
Yeah, okay.
It's an abstraction of our client's initials. So,
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
there, in terms of the, some of the other comments on, we do have some additional information for the areas around the triangle windows and why we'd like to not change that. I can pass this around to the board. It's an interior shot. I know you don't do interiors, but it's kind of relevant.
Yeah.
So the timbers all align with the unit system, the 4-foot unit system. So the way they engage in that to the masonry is what's leading to that, to how the windows and the roof line works on that, on the little canted roof extension.
Would it be possible to make the chimney larger?
Well, that changes the dimensions of the side windows next to it, which is also follows the unit system. So there's 2 windows to the left side.
Oh,
of
yeah.
that. So it all works within the different modules, the 4-foot modules. And the siding, you are correct about the siding notes. It is horizontal.
Yeah.
So that will be a hardy application, most likely in a rain screen application. So just because there isn't a great way, otherwise we'd have to flash each individual piece of the
Yeah.
board and battens, which
Yeah.
could be done, but it would be a kind of a pain to do it that
Yeah.
way, just because of the nature of hardy.
Yeah.
And then the windows on the west side, the glass block, those will probably be most likely framed in like a ladder frame construction out of like a rot resistant wood, like a cypress that'll go through. And then they make special gaskets that go around the glass box that then would affix to that wood frame. So that's essentially how we're planning to do it. And when it comes through, it should be able to drain. We should be able to flash to it in that rain screen application around the windows. So that's what we were intending on that portion.
That'll be a cool corridor inside.
We did want to share with the board, we actually have, this isn't the original design. We have what we consider a slightly better design that's similar just in terms of the wraparound porch. The Board of Adjustment required us to make the porch wrap around past the chimney, which we don't want to do. But obviously we'd have to go back for another variance for it, but we would like to share with the board their interpretation of an integral front porch is wrapping around the entire length of the entire house. But since we have a wraparound in two directions, that we would like to share this with the board just to get feedback on the design in both ways. So those are labeled the original design and then the design with the wraparound. Mainly because that wraparound extra little porch doesn't really serve a purpose. So our intent was to leave it off, but the board requested it. Which is an odd part of that ordinance for attached garages, because usually most municipalities, that would be a review board decision, not a Board of Adjustment decision.
Yeah.
So that may be, so we were curious to get feedback from the board on it.
It does look cleaner without it in front. In my opinion.
Mhm.
So how would, I guess you'd have to figure that out, but I guess you'd
It
have to
would be, it would be
resubmit.
an appeal interpretation of the code, which if the board was amenable, we may ask for board support on potentially.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the distance of that wraparound porch is not like a real true occupiable space because it's so narrow.
There's
Not
nothing in the,
catwalk.
interestingly, there's
Yeah.
nothing that defines depth of a porch in the code.
Yeah.
So theoretically, you could have a 1 foot deep porch, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
more than that, but
Yeah.
you could in theory, yes.
Hmm.
But just based on the design of the side of the lot, it makes more sense to have that occupiable space in the rear. If any of you have been out to the site, it just has a great expansive view between
Yeah.
wooded view between all the neighboring lots, and that
Nice.
inside part of the L in the back is really the place where you'll want to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Designing to the site, I mean, it's really just a fantastic plan.
Yeah.
I think it's refreshing to see.
Yeah.
The,
Fun project.
our architectural style too, so.
Yeah.
What's the height of your horizontal board? I was just curious. Is it-
They're, it's a 3/4 by 2.5. I believe it's a standard hardy trim dimension.
Hmm.
So it's, I think it's 2.5 wide, I believe.
And no gutters and downspouts.
We may work on the rear of the house I think on a roof plan. We're not showing the renderings on the roof plan. We are showing it. But if we did have it, it would be either short round scuppers coming down a foot or so, or rain chains. It's not our intention to have downspouts on the
Yeah.
house.
Okay.
Would it be an applied gutter or a concealed built-in gutter?
It most likely be set back and concealed behind a fascia board, the angle fascia board, so you wouldn't see it. Yeah. we're trying to avoid cleaning, there's a lot of trees. We're trying to avoid that going on
Yeah.
that roof to blow out the leaves if possible.
Yeah.
The hazards of low slope.
All right. Any comments from the board? Any additional comments?
I really like it. I could tell that just by looking at it, it was a very thoughtful design, and then listening to you elaborate.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's very nice.
All right, well, if there's nothing else from the board, then may I have a motion on 524 Bacon?
I guess you'll just come back to us if you want us to write a letter or something.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
would be.
We want to address it.
To
as
address it
part of the
with
motion,
I'm assuming the board can't approve a design that the review, that the board adjustment doesn't allow, but we would be open to receiving like a letter of support to pursue that option at a later date
Mhm.
for the not having the wraparound porch.
So then other than that, there aren't any other revisions, right? No.
Well, I think we've got the understanding that the siding will be horizontal.
Right.
Because there was a conflict between the note and the graphic. And then maybe also add that if there are gutters, they would be concealed, or rain chains would be used as a clarification. Those are the things that I had on my list.
Yeah.
I make a motion to accept 524 Bacon as submitted with the understanding that the exterior siding will be horizontal as shown on the renderings and change from vertical as noted, and that the gutters will be likely concealed behind a fascia board, and then with either no downspouts or rain chains.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right, 524 Bacon's approved.
Thank you.
As noted. Have a good night. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.